Hey everybody, welcome to Baker Banter. This is the sports podcast where we talk about Trey sports.
Sports-related topics.
That's right. So welcome Trey, and welcome Trey. Oh wait, sorry about that. Trent is not here. Trent's on vacation, as some of you may have saw us tease a little bit throughout with some different little pictures and things of that sort. So let's get into this. We have a big surprise guest for our listeners tonight on Bearded Baker Banter.
Yes.
And I know that he needs no introduction. However, that being said, Fee Fi Fo Fum, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the patriarch of the Bearded Baker brothers, sometimes known as Papa Bake. Others know him as the man behind the arms. Sleeves stand no chance in his attire. Please welcome our dad and guest beard host, Big John.
That's right.
Hello, everybody. I don't know how to live up to that.
I tell you what,
Give it a shot.
we're fulfilling a lot of requests here by having you on the show, Big John. So,
all right. Hope I don't let anybody down.
We'll be good to go. So, yes, welcome.
Trent might drive back from Nashville tonight.
All right, so we're going to get into some stuff here. We're going to start with some of our different topics. We're actually then going to tackle a bit of the UFC, and then we'll round out things with our bet, bail, and backing. So without further ado, let's get into our booming topics here.
That's right. I look forward to it every week.
Dude, I do too. I really do too.
Yeah.
I always worry though that somehow like ads are gonna pop up again.
Oh God, yeah, that wasn't good, but
it's kind of terrible. It was like for lima beans or something. All right, so go ahead.
I was gonna say, how about you start us off with a boomer here?
I'm gonna start us off here with the topic, and I'm actually gonna shift into college football coaches. There was a couple different accounts this week that were talking about some college football coaches coming out in new roles. The four top ones, as I was kind of looking at, there's a website called yardbarker.com. Shout out to yardbarker.com. But there's four that I want to really look at. First one being Matt Rule in his new role at Nebraska. Luke Fickell at Wisconsin. Primetime, Deion Sanders at Colorado. And Hugh Freeze in Auburn. And just kind of get your take on what you guys think about who's going to have the most successful, let's just say the first year. And then maybe tackle, a couple other years after that moving forward. Trey, I'll let you go first here. Matt Rule, right. Luke Fickell, Deion Sanders, Hugh Freeze. Most successful first year.
Oh, man, that's tough. That is a tough question. I want to believe in the Deion hype. However, I don't know. Turning that program around that fast is going to be extremely difficult. I know he's bringing in a lot of his players from Jackson State. Mm-hmm. But, you can't – losing D1 players, whether they were successful or not last year, that's a core of a team. And they have a lot of experience playing against good college teams. So I'm going to rule out Deion Sanders. And I'm also ruling out Matt Rule, too. Good to get that. Yeah.
Ruling out. Okay, no. So hold on. You said you're in on Coach Prime.
No, I'm not.
No,
okay,
he's ruling
not
out.
on Coach Prime, not on Coach Rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I think Luke Fickell is going to have the most success at Wisconsin. And I think a lot of that is due to just the consistency of the program.
Sure.
They always have a good foundation and offensive line, usually a solid running game, and they play on the weaker side of the Big Ten. So I'm gonna go ahead with Luke Fickell in Wisconsin.
That's a fair assessment. Big John, what do you got on this one?
Who was the fourth guy?
We had Deion Sanders and Hugh Freeze from Auburn.
Oh. Well, Hugh Freeze has his hands full in the SEC. I think he's probably going to be second. Deion definitely number 4. Okay. He's created too much turmoil there with the way he's come in and just act like, hey, I got to just turn this entire program over, which they do need to improve. Mm-hmm. But to just push guys to the side, you got people walking on eggshells around around the place going like, "Well, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Am I not good enough?" Questioning themselves right away.
Now that's not a Deion Sanders foot joke, is it? Walking on eggshells. Okay.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay.
and that's the other part of it. That's the other part of it. He's dealing with a health issue.
Yeah.
I mean, a severe health issue.
Right.
So, I mean, is his full attention going to be in where it needs to be applied? You know, that's a big question. I'm going to agree with Trey. I think it's definitely Finkel. Finkel's had success.
Fickle.
You know, Finkel, whatever.
Like pickle.
Yeah, Pickle.
Not
Pickle.
Ray Finkel from the Dolphins.
No, but
Laces out.
I agree with that because Wisconsin. I mean, the side of the division they play on, they always stand a chance if they even have a decent coach.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true.
And the guy has had experience. He's been around Ohio State around long enough and so forth. So, you know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it to Freeze if Freeze weren't in the SEC. But I got to agree with Trey.
Yeah, I'm leaning against the Hugh Freeze stuff. I mean, you know, he was winning a lot of games at Ole Miss. You know, had success at Liberty, obviously, but I mean, it's the SEC. You know, and you know you're gonna have a couple big games there, but I mean the SEC is only gonna get tougher with adding some of these teams. I think you look at Deion Sanders, and I don't think this is obviously his final destination.
Oh no,
I think he'll have success for Colorado, if that makes sense. Meaning, like, there's not a whole lot you got to do to have success at Colorado.
Yeah.
You know, especially for a long time actually.
So back to McCaffrey.
Yeah, it's been a while, so I don't know. I'm not sold on Deion. I think he's a good coach. He's a great hype man, and obviously he gets guys that want to play for him, which could also work to his advantage. I mean, in terms of recruiting. Now, that being said, right, and that being said, it kind of goes into, say, James Franklin, phenomenal recruiter. They're always somewhere near the top, but they can't seem to get over that hump. And I feel like he'll kind of run into that, with Colorado. I would love to say Matt Rule on this, but the reason I can't is because if you look at Matt Rule, his first couple of years with the teams that he was at with Temple and then Baylor. Now he took over some teams that were struggling, but he only run I think it was one game at Temple, one game at Baylor his first year or so. 2-10 at Temple, 1-11 at Baylor, right, in his first year. So I think he'll have success. I think he could be the predecessor to, say, somebody like James Franklin at Penn State. Being a Penn State guy that he is. Right. So, but I'm going to agree with you guys, too, with Fickle at Wisconsin. I think, Trey, you brought up a point about Wisconsin's side of the Big Ten. It's like, who do you play? I mean, you could probably go, 7-7 and still make it possibly to the, Big Ten championship, which is ridiculous because it's so lopsided. So they got to fix that. But I'm on board with you guys. I think Luke Fickell has his most successful first year. So, all right. Let's move on to Trey. You said you have a fantasy football topic here.
That's right. Yeah, that's.
We can tackle that.
There you go.
Thanks.
It's about the time of the year where people start reactivating their leagues, start looking at projections and stuff like that. I know I still have not, but just the thought of fantasy football coming around kind of brought up some interesting things I was curious about.
Tickles your
so
feelings.
my first, it tickled my fancy.
There you go. Okay.
So the first question I have, and I don't want you guys to Google anything. I kind of just want you to think out loud. Who do you think had the best single season in terms of total points fantasy football season ever? Ever.
All right.
Man.
Are we talking a PPR league?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
I was going to say that is a big X factor.
Yes. Yeah. Because
I have
total,
my response.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Marshall Faulk.
Okay. From what year would you?
The Rams. He was with the Rams.
You're talking like 99 when they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. Tyler, what would you say?
You're saying most points in a season, one single player.
Yep. Don't look up anything. And then I have the top five. I have the top five ready to give you guys. Then
I'm gonna say Priest Holmes from the Chiefs.
Okay. All right. There is one person that is in the top five twice. Okay. So
I have an idea.
So they're all running backs in the top 5. There's one person that repeats, okay?
Which is wild to me.
All right.
Because look at the touchdowns Rice had that one year.
Yeah.
So
was fantasy football around that?
Oh yeah. Well,
hey, that was my guy. So it wasn't as it wasn't
alive during the show.
No, it wasn't as big. Meaning, like, you now have all the apps and stuff. Sorry, go ahead, Trey.
I'll start with 5 and I'll go down to 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at number 5, fifth most all time is 2003. LaDainian Tomlinson with 443.8 points.
Wow.
He had 13 total touchdowns, 2,370 yards.
Wow. That doesn't surprise me. You said that was number 5?
Yep, number 5. Number 4, Tyler Priest Holmes, 2003. 445 points. He had 2,100 total yards, but he had 27 touchdowns and 74 catches.
Okay.
Number 3, Big John, 2000, Marshall Falk.
There you go.
459.9 points.
The 99 2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So he had 2,189 total yards, but he had 26 total touchdowns as well.
Cool.
All right, number 2, 2019 Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah.
With 471.2 points. He had 2,392 total yards, 19 total touchdowns, but get this, 116 catches.
Was that his rookie season?
No, I don't believe it. I think it was his second year, yeah. But yeah, 116 catches. That accounted for a quarter of his points that year.
Well,
you say one of these guys repeated.
Yep. So number 1.
Christian McCaffrey.
Tyler?
I say Priest Holmes again.
You are both wrong. It is LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006.
God, I would have never guessed that.
Okay.
He had 481.1 points. He had 1,815 rushing yards, 508 receiving yards, and 31 total touchdowns.
Wow.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Tomlinson only played for the Chargers, correct?
Yeah.
And that was during some pretty down times. I mean, they never really got over the hump, but he's kind of one of those running backs where you look at some of the running backs that do get lost in the mix, that had long careers, or just very good careers. I mean, take Barry Sanders. I'm not saying anybody's forgetting Barry Sanders, but I'm saying sometimes you look at the guys that won the championships, you won these things, won that thing, but I feel like LaDainian Tomlinson's not a guy that always comes up in conversation for great running backs of all time, but
I agree.
I mean, it's hard to argue that.
I think he had a very, I would say 4 or 5 year span where he was an unbelievable running back, next level, and then it just he kind of came average out of nowhere. I'm not taking anything away from LaDainian Tomlinson. He's one of the best running backs of all time. But
what college?
TCU.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't worry, Dad. I got some trivia for you later on. All right. So just to touch on some more fantasy football stuff, you guys don't have to answer this. I know we're in a couple leagues together, but what is your draft style? What's your strategy when it comes to drafting?
I mean, you mind if I start?
Yeah.
So I think draft strategy, I like to look for connections. I know quarterbacks don't like to, a lot of people don't like to draft quarterbacks early, but if I can somehow find some sort of stud, usually I'd say tight end or wide receiver. I've never been a guy that goes after running backs necessarily, just because, I mean, I'm surprised, when you used to trade, that was top 5 all time, they were all running backs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because the fact that they can rush and they can catch the ball out of the backfield, but I don't know. I've never been a running back hype man, and I think, Trey, we talked about this in a couple episodes, how now you're getting 2 3-headed monsters at running back.
Right.
It's made it even tougher because in fantasy football, you might have 4 stud running backs, and then everybody else is by committee. So it's all right, let's pick your poison. Who's going to get the carries for the week? So
or a goal line carries too.
Right, exactly. Third down backs now I think carry a lot of weight as well. So Yeah, I'm a connection guy. I like to find a stud wide receiver, a tight end, and pair him up with a really good quarterback. So that's my strategy.
My strategy always went to. I usually took like top 5, then I took top 3 at each position, and I tried to capture as many of those top 3 players at each position as I possibly could. So be it if all of a sudden there's a run on running backs, I'm going for the top quarterback. If there's a run, if it's divvying up and I'm into my 4 and 5 quarterback or my 4 and 5 running back, I may go to the number 1 or number 2 receiver.
Sure.
So it's I usually try to take as many of my top 3 players as possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's not something you really. I mean, that sounds like common sense, but that's not really a strategy you hear too much of. You know what I mean?
It's almost like you can overload. Like, and I'm not saying it a bad way. I'm saying it
true.
a good way.
And usually the other thing what happens is when people start seeing a position fly off the board, they panic and I have to draft that position.
Yep,
exactly. Yeah,
that's where you go away from it and you fade it, sort of, and it's like, whoop.
It's interesting.
I think as of recently too, just with the emergence of the tight end position, I don't want to say coming back, but like in the pros,
it is true.
In the pros, I mean, you got some dynamic players. I actually look more for possibly, especially in leagues that have a flex guy, is trying to get top 2, top 3 tight ends for sure. Even sometimes before a number 1 receiver. Because again, those sometimes can be kind of far and few between. It's hit or miss. Are they being double covered that week? What kind of coverage is being played against them? Is it man? Is it zone? So I look at tight ends a lot too. So not being biased as a tight end. So
my strategy is kind of the cliche one. A lot of people use it, but I stick by it because I really do think it holds true. And Tyler, you kind of touched on it earlier, but I wait to draft quarterbacks for sure. I think that skill position players have more of a variability in between how many points they get.
Yeah.
And I think that if you can load up on consistent players that are going to get you 10, 12 points a week, I think that really goes far rather than you can stream quarterbacks every week if you really wanted to, depending on the matchup.
Yeah. You could argue
the issue.
There's
the issue that what comes to like Patrick Mahomes, if he's there, even Josh Allen, I would consider one of those guys.
Aaron Rodgers at one point.
At one point, yeah. I don't know who that is though.
You guys are ridiculous.
No, but what I was gonna say is sometimes where my strategy comes back to bite me in the butt is I wait too long and then people start drafting their backups, and then I'm kind of digging at the bottom of the barrel, and that's happened to me a couple years. But for me, I think waiting on quarterbacks is a huge benefit just because of the consistency in the position.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else, fantasy Trey?
Yes. Just a couple more things.
Okay.
Are there any unique rules that you guys like or dislike about fantasy leagues? Like little quirks. I know most of them are generally the same, but some leagues just have one little, whether it's pay $1 for every transaction you make through the season.
Yeah.
Some people draft defensive players, but is there anything that you guys like or dislike?
Go ahead, I'll let you go with this.
I don't. I used to play in a league that did the individual defensive players, and to be honest with you, it's a crapshoot. I mean, it is. I mean, because technically, do you look at the top D-back? Well, a lot of teams don't throw to the top D-back. So then it's like, okay, well, the guy who plays opposite of him may have greater value. Mm-hmm. So it's a complete crapshoot when you go individual player. There are teams like the Bears the one year, when they were punching fumbles and stuff like that, and it was, they were definitely making a difference. Teams like that'll make a difference. So defensively, I think state of the team kind of thing. I do like the value of the number of catches as well. I think that's pretty important as well.
I think I agree. I hate individual player defenses. I will say this from in a league that I played in one time, I drafted Aeneas Williams from the Rams, 6 or 7 years in a row, and the dude was just a stud. And
Wow.
I don't know. It was just like my guy. Like every year, I'm like, I got to get Aeneas Williams. Like
Yeah.
he was just my dude. But
Yeah.
no, I like team defenses. I love PPR leagues. And in terms of like transactions, I don't necessarily like to pay for transactions. But I do think limiting your transactions, weekly, like, hey, you get like, 2 or 3 this, and kind of going that route. That way, you can't get guys that try to load up on 5, 6 guys and try to, load up your team and remake everything. It's like that way it puts a little more strategy into it. But
one that I liked that I think more leagues will start to adapt, or at least will become an option in different leagues, is a tiered PPR system. So, say wideouts get a half a point for every catch, running backs get 1 point, and tight ends get 1.5 points.
Tight ends get 1.5.
Yep.
Wow.
Just because traditionally,
Kelsey will go through the roof.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and if you want to do that and draft a tight end early, then yeah, that's fine. But I mean, I think because really, how many tight ends get as many receptions as a running back or a wideout? You know what I mean?
The top 3 do.
Exactly. So that's why they'd be more valuable. Yeah. I just think it would make drafting more interesting. It would make scoring more interesting.
Yeah.
It's just one of the ones I think.
I don't mind that. I don't even mind the half point PPRs. Like, I know that was a big fan of yours there, Trey. But I think I was okay. Tiered would be interesting. I don't know how it would look.
But the problem with that is it's not really offered by ESPN or Yahoo or anyone yet. So.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So that's pretty much does it for my fantasy football questions for you guys. But
coming up, man, we are September 5th? First game?
Yeah, I believe that's it.
Wow.
Somewhere around there. So it's preseason's coming up. I mean, Hall of Fame
this year's
game.
Flying.
Yeah, Hall of Fame game will be here before you know it. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Get ready, baby.
I'll tell you what. I got the ticket.
Yeah.
And that's all I need.
There you go. ticket and the big TV.
Yep.
That's right. Yep.
All right, Big John, take us into some NFL here.
Yeah, I'm staying with the NFL here. One thing I wanted to touch on, found really interesting, was my Raiders are somewhat classified as bad boys in the NFL, right?
Correct.
Right.
And Trey, you happen to be a Packer fan.
Now, do you say classified or like they just are? Because
that's sort of where I'm going. And you're a Niner fan, right?
Yep.
So there's a statistic out there that of the number of arrests by team, and we're tied as a Raider. We're tied at number 16.
Wow.
And the Packers have more, and the Niners have more.
Wow.
And that's a little bitter pill to swallow. That the Raiders are thugs, and they draft all these guys, and man, look what they're doing. And when I look at that, actually, who do you think leads the league?
Who leads the league in guys getting arrested?
Yeah. Most arrests since 2000, the year 2000.
The New England Patriots.
I'd say Seattle Seahawks.
All right. It's the Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
At 47.
Wow.
Okay, now you mentioned the Patriots. Let's see. The Patriots are not even on the flipping list.
That's because they don't get arrested. They just cheat.
There you go.
I
they
wouldn't
don't
say
get
that.
caught. No,
They have Aaron Hernandez.
There you
What do you
go.
say? What do you say about him?
That's one. Okay. Guessing second.
Pretty big glaring one though.
The Vikings at 46.
It's interesting.
That's also interesting.
Now the Niners are down at 27, and the Packers are at 26. My Raiders come in at 25.
Wow.
Okay.
So you're saying the Niners are the most okay.
Yeah, of our family, the Niners are.
Well, I mean,
wow. That doesn't
think of
surprise
recently
me.
too, and I would argue too that the Raiders
There's
probably
less laws in California.
Well, yeah, but the Raiders get the bad the bad persona just because I feel like they came in like clumps, so it was kind of to the point where it was like all of a sudden that was all everybody heard about.
Well, that was back in the day, and the Outlaws, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I just found that to be an interesting thing. Heck, even the Steelers were above the Raiders. They had 26. So.
Wow. That is a little interesting statistic.
Yeah. Chiefs are up there at 33. You said the Seahawks, they had 34. Yeah. Tampa Bay is 36. Cincinnati was actually third at 42.
And how many of the Broncos had? 47, you said?
47, 46. Bengals at 42. Jaguars at 41. Tampa Bay at 36. 34 with Seattle. 33 with the Browns. I think 28 of them were Deshaun Watson.
I was just going to say, can one person count for multiple?
Count.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, but let's stay on the NFL trend here. Okay, behind your offensive line, your current offensive line of your team, okay, for $1 million, and I forget who I need to pay credit to for this. I read this the other day. You can either have $1 million or you can take a chance and you'll get 10 carries behind your current offensive line to gain 5 yards in an NFL game.
For your favorite team, you're saying? Your favorite team's offensive line?
Yeah. Yep. And if you gain the 5 yards on 10 carries, you'll make $10 million.
Oh, I'm saying 100% yes.
I do it.
I'm saying 100% yes because I would literally just run to the left side behind Trent Williams. And just let him he would just take everybody out.
I support that argument.
Yeah, so I'm saying yes. I'm pretty happy with San Fran's offensive line. Now, you could argue that, well, if I was a quarterback, I'd probably be hurt running behind that offensive line. But
yeah, there you go.
Trey, you said yes.
What about you, Trey?
I feel like I could do it. So I would say I would. I think they could come up with some type of scheme or play, like a misdirection, where I could sneak like 3 yards on one play.
You're gonna run behind Bakhtiari?
I'll run behind anyone on the offensive line.
He's got to be healthy for you to do that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, you can't run out of bounds and play behind him over there.
No, I mean, this might be one of those like, oh, could you land a plane if the pilot? Ever see those questions? I'm maybe overconfident in this, but I would gladly take that bet.
You also have to put some weight on first, though, too.
Yeah. No, I think I could slither in between some holes and stretch for another yard.
Slither in between the holes, huh? I got you.
Hey, that's why I would do it. I mean, I'm 270, so I'm going to be making as much contact as they are.
Oh yeah,
so.
you could
You're going to say yes
do it.
behind the Raiders' offensive line?
Oh yeah, I would. Yes.
Oh, true. That offensive line, though.
Hey. At least they're not in jail.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all on yes.
Tyler.
We're all on yes to go 10 carries for 5 yards for $10 million as opposed to taking an automatic million.
I'll say this, though. I think that...
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, look, Trey's like, oh, wait a second.
No, then I changed my mind. I take the automatic million.
Wow.
I would say one offensive line that I would not run behind would be the Bengals.
The Bengals?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd agree
Just
with
knowing
you
the protection of Joe Burrow. Is there any? What do you guys think? Is there any offensive line that you would not run behind? Besides the Bengals.
I don't know.
I could maybe the Texans.
Texans. I was going to say
yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yep. Maybe even the Browns too. I think the Browns struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Moving.
Oh man.
I think
I could lead us into baseball if you'd like to with a baseball question.
I think you said you had a baseball topic, and then I think what we'll do is we'll tackle a little bit of UFC, and then we'll finish with some baseball stuff. So,
well, I can come back to my baseball.
Okay,
go ahead.
All right, so let's dive into. We got a big UFC card this weekend. UFC 290. Obviously, there's some big names on this. Trey, I know there's a very big name on there that's not even the top main event for you. But what we'll do is we'll kind of go through these. Just we'll do a pick. In terms of who would you pick. I'll read the odds too, just so you guys can kind of hear what's going on. Maybe with some background on who's who a little bit. All the odds here from UFC, they're going to come from DraftKings Sportsbook. So just so you might find better odds in other places, but just to give everybody a heads up. There was one guy this week that did break a record in the UFC for odds. And that was, and we'll get into this here in a second, but Bo Nickel is the highest favorite UFC fighter ever in the UFC. When I saw the article, it was minus 2,500. It is now minus 2,800. He's the favorite. So you want to put a couple bucks on that, you're not going to make anything. But
no, that's not worth it at all. Like the risk is just not there.
Yeah,
that doesn't make.
But yeah, so what we'll do is let's start with, we'll do the main card. Well, let's start with the last prelim fight here. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts to it, but Robbie Lawler is going to be fighting, which when I saw his name on the card, I was kind of surprised because I feel like it has been a very long time since he has fought. He's fighting Nico Price. Lawler right now is the underdog at plus 200. Rumor has it that this is his final fight. He'll probably lay the gloves down afterwards, regardless of the outcome. Any thoughts on Nico Price and Robbie Lawler fighting here?
No, so I think you are right, Tyler. I think this is going to be Lawler's last fight, no matter what. I think Dana White even might have even confirmed it. Yeah. I just think he's not. I think he's going to lose. I think Nico Price isn't necessarily the biggest name fighter, but he's got kind of a so-and-so last five too. He has a loss. He has 3 losses, a win, and a draw. Yeah. But I think Lawler's just on his last leg, and I think that Dana White giving him this prelim final fight, like main card, I guess prelim is what you would call it, or the main event on the prelim, is more of like a respect thing for him.
Yeah, I think Lawler's 41 too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think like I said, he's up there, and he's got 45 UFC fights alone. So I mean, that's insane. But yeah, I think Nico Price kind of handles him pretty easily.
I don't. I disagree with you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody who can smile and he looks like the Joker with a split lip after a fight. I'm still taking Lawler based on the fact that it is his last fight, and he will not just lay down for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the fights he's been in has just stood and exchanged.
Yeah.
And with him, I mean, he is still a powerful man, and I think if he lands that one, I just think he puts Price out. And then he walks off in the sunset.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
Tough.
I agree with you because he's not going to go out. I mean, just lay it down. I mean, the only thing I could see being any downfall for him is stamina, and just having a guy that's a little bit younger, a little bit quicker, go against. But he's out of his last 3 fights, he did win one of the last 3. So
yeah, but he's what is he? He's 1 in 5 in his last 6.
Yeah,
and that's dating back to 2017.
All right. Let's look at that. Okay, what's Conor McGregor in his last 5 fights?
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, I agree.
And he's still a major contender. He's getting promised big money fights.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you.
And what's he done in his last 3 or 4 fights?
Yep.
Nothing.
Yep. Lost. Yeah. So, all right. Well, yeah, I honestly would probably throw a bit of a sprinkle on Lawler because at plus 200 odds, you can make something off a sprinkle, in terms of betting stuff. But I think it'll be tough. But I don't know if
it'll be good to see Lawler fight one more time.
If you want to look maybe at an even better bet than taking him as a money line win, the total rounds right now is over under 2.5. I think 2.5 is plus 150 over.
Ooh.
And I would like to take the over of plus 150 over 2.5 rounds because I'm not saying it does go to the distance, but I think that's not a bad bet, especially, they're not going 5. It's not a championship, but they're going 3. But I think he can last through 3 rounds. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's exactly right. I think, like Dad said, he's tough as hell, but I don't think he's going to get knocked out, but I don't think he's going to do enough to win the fight. Yeah. But I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to. Yeah, I agree, but he's also 41 years old and has 5 fights in 6 years. So I don't know. But I think I agree with you, Tyler. I think it goes to decision.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the main card here. So we're going to start off with probably one of the most exciting fighters right now. Young, obviously, very young in terms of the UFC record. But we're looking at Bo Nickel here and Tresean Gore.
No, it's not Tresean Gore anymore. No, he withdrew and they had to find a new guy. It's Val.
Is it Val Woodburn?
Yeah, Val Woodburn.
Yeah, sorry, not Tresean Gore. Val Woodburn. Sorry. So, thoughts on first fight here, Bo Nickel, Val Woodburn?
I think how many seconds in the first round? Is that what you're asking?
I mean, the over/under is 1.5, and over 1.5 rounds is plus 320.
Wow,
so
that's crazy. So, go ahead, Tyler.
My only concern is that they try to push Bo Nickel into territory where maybe he's not comfortable, but it goes back to I did see, a statistic in terms of champions in the UFC, and wrestling is literally the one that has like a guy's main thing. Is it boxing? Is it jiu-jitsu? What is it? Wrestling was the top 1 in terms of the champions, most champions in the UFC. So in that case, Bo Nickel definitely has a good shot. But yeah, I'm going with Bo Nickel. I'm not throwing anything on this. It's not worth your money in terms of betting.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's worth it at all.
Well, Bo Nickel won his last fight. He put the guy out in a submission that he didn't even have on properly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which was nuts too.
And he submitted him.
Yeah.
I mean, if the guy gets his hands on you, it's over.
Yeah. I trust me. I think he's going to win this fight handedly, but for minus 2,800 odds, say he goes for a takedown, the guy just happens to time a knee perfectly. That's all it takes, really, to like knock someone out. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Bo Nickel is one of the most hyped up UFC prospects in years, and it's for a reason. He's an Olympic gold, or I don't know if he's an Olympic medalist actually, but I mean, he's the Big Ten athlete of the year, like athlete of the year. Yeah. That's not a football player, a basketball player. It's a Penn State wrestler.
Right.
Yep. It's going to be interesting. This Val Woodburn guy, he fights usually for combat MMA, and he's undefeated. He's 7-0, and it's props to him for taking this fight, on short notice and fighting someone like Bo Nickel. But I think Nickel gets it done.
It's Woodburn's second appearance right now, right? In the actual official UFC.
It might be. I just know his last couple fights have been in combat MMA, where he does have a title, but
UFC.com says Val Woodburn is sophomore appearance inside the octagon. So
okay,
it's his second appearance. So I mean,
they got a guy with a good record. They got a guy with a good record and some sort of title.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's the only way they made this a fight that's even worth seeing.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's move to the next fight here. The next fight that we got here is Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker. I'll let one of you guys take the lead on this, and then I'll follow up here.
I'll take the lead on this.
Go ahead.
Turner's going to put this guy out. Hooker's on his way out. Hooker's had his chance. He's been near the top before. He hung near the top a little bit, and he could never get across the line. His career's on the downturn. He's pretty much done after this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trey.
I kind of agree with Dad. I think Turner's going to kind of take this one.
Whoever wins this is going against Adesanya, according to White.
Oh, really? I disagree.
White said, he goes, whoever wins this fight's going to get Adesanya next.
Really?
Yeah. Bringing in some insight into the show.
I didn't know. Okay, interesting. Well, I still think Jalen Turner is going to do it. He's 155 and he's 6'3".
Yeah.
I think the length. I think he can just outreach Dan Hooker. Turner is coming off a tough loss to Gamrot, I believe, in the John Bones card.
Yep.
And Hooker's coming off a win, but I mean, he's just not the same fighter that he used to be. And I think Turner kind of takes one here.
Yeah, I'm on with that as well. I'm on with Jalen Turner as well. So
I think they're paying. I think they're paying Hooker to lay down on this fight.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. It was a little.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but yeah, I definitely think. I mean, that'll be a good fight, man. This card's gonna be nuts.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good fight. Pretty good card.
Now I had seen. And this kind of goes in. Yeah, the next one is Whitaker and Duplessis.
Yeah.
And I saw the winner of this.
Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, I screwed up. It wasn't the Turner Hooker fight. It was this fight that gets the fight out.
Okay, I was gonna say
that makes a lot of sense.
I apologize there.
That makes more sense because there's a lot of beef between Dracus Duplessis and Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, I don't even think he'll get there.
Oh, all right. Let me start us off.
Hold on, Duplessis, you don't think will?
I think Duplessis kicks Whitaker's ass.
So do I.
Wow.
And there's a couple reasons. So Duplessis coming off 7 straight wins. All right.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Well, 2 of them are pretty impressive. Darren Till's not in the UFC anymore, but Derek Brunson. But I think what's going to happen? Or his last loss was in 2018 to Roberto Saldic, who he also beat. But since his last fight, he has gotten surgery on his nose / his septum.
Yeah.
Prior to that, the doctors told him he was only getting 8% inflow through his nose.
Jeez.
And they said that now they fixed his surgery, it's like completely improved. I think he's gonna blow the wheels off Robert Whitaker.
Wow.
I truly do. And surprisingly, Duplessis is what, like a plus 300 underdog, Tyler? Or?
Well, yeah, Duplessis is plus 310 right now.
Yeah, so I mean I'm going to take him to win. I think he wins either by decision or knockout. So I truly do. And then I think that beef with Israel Adesanya and him kind of creates a storyline for the next title fight.
Oh, for sure.
I really do.
Duplessis just fought a couple. He fought a couple fights ago, didn't he?
He's weird. He's really awkward. He's not a fundamental fighter.
Right.
I mean, he comes at you from all different sorts of angles and everything else. I mean, he's not like your common UFC fighter. That's what makes him a difficult opponent.
Yeah, he fought March 4th in UFC 285.
Duplessis.
So yeah, so that was when he fought Derek Brunson.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and
I still got to go with Whitaker on this.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm on the Duplessis bandwagon with you because.
Well, I look at it this way. He got his nose cleaned up. They just cleaned up his target.
Oh. Oh, that's true. Maybe it's still pretty fragile or something.
His nose was that way for a reason. Yeah. Took a lot of punches.
Yeah. No, I'm on Duplessis with it. I'm looking to do a sprinkle too in terms of pick all 5 winners type of deal.
Like a little parlay.
Yeah, little 5-leg parlay here with that stuff,
Well,
and that plus 310 will definitely help some odds. Might cancel out the Bo Nickel minus 2,800.
Oh God, I wouldn't even put that in there.
No, I know. I might do the rounds or something with that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so moving into, I believe this is co-main event. We got Brandon Moreno and oh boy, will help me out with this, Trey?
Yeah, it's Pantoja.
Pantoja. Okay.
Pantojan.
Yeah. So yeah, co-main event. Moreno. I mean, Moreno's such an interesting dude.
Yeah. So these do have a history. Moreno and him actually fought early in his career, Moreno's career, and Pantoja won. Now people sit there and say, "Oh, well, Moreno's a different person now." But I saw an interview earlier with Pantoja's trainers, and they say, "Yeah, well, Pantoja's also a new fighter too, and he's only won." So I think that's going to be a more interesting fight than what people expect. I think a lot of people are just kind of thinking Moreno's going to walk away with it, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people expect. So I'm personally still going to pick Moreno just because I think that'd be a lot for Pantoja to overcome, considering like the last, I don't know, the quality of his fights just don't seem as good as Brandon Moreno's. But then again, Brandon Moreno's last 4 of his 5 fights are against Davis and Figueiredo.
Right.
So I mean, he's only seen one fighter for 80% of his last fights, and that might be tough going against a different style fighter and seeing something new. So I'm back and forth. I'm going with Brandon Moreno.
Okay.
All right. Let me throw in a tidbit here, Trent. Trey, you said that he beat him once, right?
Yeah.
He's actually beat him twice.
Oh, the Ultimate Fighter.
Yes, he beat him in the Ultimate Fighter. Pantoja, he was the number 1 seed, and Moreno was the last seed, and he knocked him out in like the first round. So,
wow.
So there's a psychological advantage that Pantoja or whatever his name is has over Moreno. Like, he's got his number. You might say Moreno's maybe now motivated, sort of like the Alessandra thing with his last fight. But I'm telling you right now, there's a mental block that he's got to overcome, and I don't think Moreno. He was when he first started out, he had like this bright future kind of thing, and he sort of drug his feet for like the last couple of years.
Yep.
And I just don't think he's going to get there. I think he's going to get beat here too.
Okay.
I'm kind of on that as well. I mean, I've been going back and forth with this the last couple of days. I mean, Moreno's minus 205 to win. Pantoja's plus 175. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 2-0, I know that can, lucky number 3, but like I said, I feel like Moreno sometimes gets in his own head. If you watch him fight, like, I feel like he just gets a little too hyped up, and some I don't know, something about him. I think he's a great fighter. I'm on Pantoja for this. I'm going Pantoja to win. So that's two dogs for me that I'm at least picking in terms of the gambling aspect. But all right, and then the big one here, and I'll tell you what, we got Volkanovski against Rodriguez here, and I watched Yair Rodriguez in his last fight and was extremely impressed. And I don't think he's getting enough credit. However, Volkanovski's, I don't know, man. He's a machine. And I don't see Rodriguez being able to figure Volkanovski out. And I think this is going to be one of those fights where, like I said, I think Rodriguez will push it early, but I think eventually Volkanovski's going to wear him down and take over. But
yeah, I agree with you in some aspects, but I disagree with being impressed by Yair Rodriguez in the last fight. I think Emmett's a great fighter, but he's older. He's not the same guy he used to be. He can land a punch here and there and get a knockout, but I think Yair Rodriguez is fighting like too wild and too undisciplined. I feel like he just...
That's his style. His style is very, very awkward.
Yeah, and then what happens is you go against someone who is probably one of the most disciplined fighters, like Alexander Volkanovski, and you get your butt handed to you.
Yep.
I truly think Volk wins this with an early KO in the first or second round. And I think it's because, I think he's gonna. I think Yair's gonna
more than submits him.
Listen, yes, because Yair's gonna throw a wild kick or a wild stupid thing and get off balance, and Volk's gonna throw a nasty combo and just light him up.
Okay.
He's too undisciplined. I think Volkanovski last fight against Islam got robbed of a win, and I think he's gonna prove a statement.
Yeah.
And I think this is a stepping stone to his next, much more interesting fight, and that's against Topuria after he beats Rodriguez here.
Okay, I agree. The Rodriguez thing, the thing that you got to remember there, I agree with the wild thing and going in, and he's going to miss. He's not going to take a combo. Volkanovski's going to ground and pound him. He'll get in on him. If you guys remember, Rodriguez lost to Freddie Edgar or
Frankie.
Frankie, via ground and pound.
Yeah.
And I mean, think of that. I mean, he got crushed that fight, literally crushed. Now you're going against the guy that's 10 times better than he was. Oh,
yeah.
I don't think Rodriguez stands a chance.
But I don't think Volk even needs to take him to the ground. Though is what I'm saying.
Oh, he won't.
Yeah, I agree. If it does,
I think he'll just pulverize him.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think he wants to take that risk in any type getting him caught in like a submission. Maybe. I mean, he didn't get submitted by Islam last fight, so I don't think Rodriguez would be able to sneak one on him. But
give the best pound for pound fighter getting robbed of the title because of judges.
Yeah,
exactly.
And give him that motivation on top of all his skills. He's going to annihilate this guy via any way that he can.
Yeah, I don't think it goes the distance. I mean, I definitely think it ends early, and I do. Like I said, I'm on Volk over Rodriguez. Like I said, I was impressed the last time I watched Rodriguez fight. So I don't know. I think there's steep odds, but it's also because of who Volk is. When you really think about it, because the dude is a beast, and I do think he got robbed his last fight too against. But all right, anything else UFC wise, guys?
No, I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's all I know. International Fight Week, right?
Yeah.
This is the big
We got
card.
a couple mixed bags here. We're on different fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really hoping, because I know there was a rumor a while ago that this was also going to be the John Jones card. Can you imagine having Volkanovski and John Jones on the same card? Who do you make the main? Who do you make the co-main? I mean,
So all right,
you gotta have co-main.
I have one.
They'd have to be co-main.
well, no, I know,
What
but I'm
fight
saying
are
like
you
who's
guys-
like the last one? Like, has to be.
So
John
what
Jones.
fight? What fight do you guys predict to be the fight of the night in terms of like quality, even like just great like combos and that kind of stuff? Like, what do you guys? I know which fight I would pick. So
I feel like we're on the same fight, Trey.
Pantoja and Marino.
nope.
Okay, that's who you're on.
No, I'm not. I'm on
No,
That's
Whitaker.
who I would be on as far as the longest toe-to-toe kind of fight.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually feel like that fight could get a little dull though.
It
Like,
could, but that takes it to the limit. But
Right, I know, but I'm saying like
if we're looking for highlights, I take the fight we just talked about.
Okay.
See, I take Duplessis and Whitaker.
Yep, that's the fight I'm on too.
Ooh, okay.
I think those guys are going to come out swinging. I think they're going to both try to kick each other's ass, and because they know, like
There it
like
goes.
you said, Dad.
Dude, we were literally we weren't an explicit episode.
Ah, shoot, I did
like,
sneak it
you
in
just
there.
threw it out there. I was like, wow, we're gonna
Sorry.
make it. That's all right. Now.
Yeah, we'll never get there.
I even said flipping one time.
Yeah.
Leave it to Trey, because Trey, you even let the door open. I was gonna be like, wow, must be Trent's fault.
Should have, man.
Yeah.
We should have purposely kept it clean just for that.
Maybe I'll throw a bleep in there or something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I never
Do me
heard
a
you guys
favor.
swear before, personally.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually, and I think that Whitaker Duplessis fight though could actually be a co-main event on a different card.
I agree. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yep.
So that's
Yep.
this is gonna be awesome.
That's a good call.
All right, are we ready for bet, bail, and backing?
Oh,
You ready for
you
baseball?
might have to remind me.
Oh, I know.
of
What are we on?
which one we're on. Yeah,
All right, so
it's hard to
let's
keep track.
let's start off with bet. All right, and just for our listeners and stuff, if we have any new listeners in here, our bet means things that we love in baseball right now. We do a bet, a bail, something we just hate in baseball, and then backing is something that we're really kind of supporting and looking to kind of week to week type of deal. So bet, bail, backing is what we call it here for our MLB. So let's start off with bet. Anybody want to start us off here with our bet? Go ahead, Big
Yeah, I'll
John.
start out with a bet.
Go ahead.
I absolutely loved the fact that Martinez, the manager of the Nationals, came out and challenged De La Cruz over his bat, the little attachment on his bat that actually measures like the speed and all that kind of stuff, which was declared legal.
You loved that he challenged him?
No. Well,
Okay.
I probably would have done the same thing just to try to get in the kid's head.
Sure.
But as a manager, I love the fact that De La Cruz responded. Now that
Yeah.
at that particular at bat, he did strike out, but
Right.
at the end. But
But
next
next
his
one,
next at bat, he crushed
Yeah.
what was it, 455 feet or something?
It might have been
and
like
it was like, here's your answer, buddy. And then he sort of like looked at Martinez, and he sort of looked at their dugout. I flipping love that. Yeah. The kid answered. Yeah, the kid answered.
That dude's gonna be a star. He's the guy we've talked about a lot. And it's funny is when you talked about the Nats manager, I thought you were going to talk about the dugout instance the other night when he came out and literally got on the ground in front of home plate. I don't know if you guys saw the Nats manager.
No, I didn't see that, no.
Which they said is so, I was listening to the highlights and they're like, this is so uncanny. And that's what I thought you were going to talk about is the fact that he got in the umpire's face, the umpire challenged him, and all of a sudden he gets down on the ground and looks at home plate, kicks dirt on home plate. It was very what was it, Lasorda from the Dodgers?
I would say Piniella, Lou Piniella.
Yeah, but it was very animated, and everybody's like, that's kind of out of character. But yeah, that De La Cruz thing, man, dude, his little, and you slow mo that too. It's awesome. He turns, looks, and tosses it at him. He's like, all right, here's your bet.
Yeah, I did that with this little white knob on the end of my back.
Exactly. Yeah, that was awesome. Trey, what's your bet? What are you loving?
I'm still so I know I mentioned it last week, but I'm continuing to bet and love the walks by pitchers, starting pitchers prop that I've kind of been hitting on these past couple weeks. The system I'm using and the numbers that I'm kind of averaging out to make these picks is hitting at 61%, which is awesome. I think pretty impressive and tough to do. Means it's profitable. I know a lot of the odds are juiced and pretty high, but I mean, if a win's a win in my eyes. I'll take any money I can take on a baseball bet this year. So
basically, you love terrible strike zones.
Yeah, I like bad umpires. I like wild pitchers. And then I don't know if we're going to touch on it earlier, but I'm also betting the home run derby.
Well, yeah, we'll save that. Yeah, we'll get to that at the end here.
Yeah,
because we'll run through a quick little bracket. We'll actually put a bracket out too. For everybody to see before the home run derby. We'll probably put that either Sunday night or Monday morning. Thing I'm loving right now is Trey, kind of not because it's what I do bet, but I love K props right now in terms of trying to cap pitchers, trying to look and see where guys are at. It's kind of that tough time in the season right now with pitchers where some guys are getting a little tired. A lot of teams are figuring pitchers out. I think I've made the mistake in the past of over-capping pitchers' Ks, and I've really gotten on a bandwagon of an unders right now. So I'm looking right now at the Royals pitchers and the Astros pitchers. So Royals-wise, I am on Lyles under and Greinke under. I also like the first 5 under for those teams as well for the Royals. Not under, but if you can get the other team first 5 plus a half a run, I like that. They're capping right now at about 3.5, 4.5, which is a little bit tough sometimes when you think about it because they're pitching about 5 innings. But Astros wise, phenomenal pitcher Javier. I believe he's about 8-1 now. And then I'm also really liking JP France.
Ooh.
Yeah, JP
He's
France.
Also,
dude, and go ahead, Trey.
I was going to say, he's a member of the legendary Lip Saddle Club.
The Lip Saddle Club.
Yeah.
Right? That is, Lip Saddles at its finest between him and Strider, dude. I think what gives France an advantage, though, is the fact that he's got the glasses to go with it while he pitches.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. His is almost, Strider's has got the thick caterpillar looking one, but his France's kind of extends past his lips. And,
Fu Manchu-ish.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it's like a little baby Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
Does he work wax into that mustache?
There's no way. There's no way.
Dr. Baseballs?
Yeah. That'll be the next.
You
challenge.
think he's putting wow.
Oh, hey,
sticky stuff.
Snidely, yeah, hey.
Let's hope the MLB commissioner's not listening to this.
I know.
But yeah, I'm on K-prop unders right now with the Royals and Astros pitchers. So that's where I'm at. All right, moving into bail. Things we hate in baseball right now. what do you
Just
despise? What do
baseball
you
or
hate?
just sports in general?
No, just baseball.
Just baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys hate in baseball right now? What are you bailing on?
I'll start with this. I'm continuing to bail and hate on betting over and unders.
Okay.
I personally haven't given up on them. I haven't been making them for our picks with the account, but I've continued to try to make the bets on my own and just kind of get back on track. And I've been using the same strategy, just trying to stay consistent that I was before, and it just continues to be a failure. So then what I even did is I tinkered with new numbers and new strategies, and that also didn't work. So I'm chalking it up as a lost cause for the rest of the MLB season, and I am officially 100% bailing on over-unders for MLB.
All right. Total runs. It is tough.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's
no, because I think what you're getting into too, Trey, now is you're getting into the fact that maybe some of the bullpens are figuring it out, and maybe some of the starters are starting to like show some fatigue.
Right.
Because it's also we're almost at All-Star break, and now is like big time. It's like, all right, what are we doing? But,
yep. It's just there's too many variables in a full baseball game to have confidence in the over-under. I truly don't. I truly think that. But.
Yeah. All right, Big John, what are you bailing on? What do you hate in baseball?
There's a couple things. One thing that really stands out in anybody that's ever known me is the players' inability to bunt. It just sickens me. I watch some baseball games, so many games where you can grab a run here, you can grab a run there throughout the course of the game. You literally could put five if you played fundamental baseball, and none of these managers are willing to do that because of these guys' contracts. That hey, if I get 200 hits, I make this much money and this much. And you can't ask a guy to be a team player.
Right.
I mean, look at the speed. You teach De La Cruz how to put down a bunt. I mean, with his speed, oh my God! I mean, he'd add how many points to his batting average? Look at the what's his name? The shortstop from the Pirates, the big guy.
Yep.
I mean, he's 3 strides. He's at first base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden the first baseman has to be conscious of the fact that he might be pulling a little bunt down there. And he's got to even take a step or two in, and the ability of Cruz to hit the ball as hard as he hits.
Yep.
Oh, come on!
Yeah,
it's outrageous.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it'd scare half the first baseman half to death.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think you are seeing a little bit more bunting than you used to in baseball, though, especially with extra innings.
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple times I watched at least some specific teams. That will bunt. I think I've seen the Phillies do it a couple times. It also depends on who's up too. It's not like you're just. But I think they try to get that guy out from second to third, having that automatic runner out there on second base.
Yeah.
Trying to get him over at least in the third and hit a sac fly in the next.
But half the guys can't even bunt.
No,
they don't even bunt
that's
properly.
the thing. No, I know. Well, what you could do though, real quick, is if you play the Cardinals,
oh my gosh,
and you can bunt against their closing pitchers,
you're
going to get on base. I don't know if you guys saw the Marlins Cardinals last night, and pitcher overthrew the first baseman on a one-hop little dribbler back to the pitcher. And it was actually a walk-off.
That was difficult to watch.
Because he scored 2 runs because he overthrew the first baseman.
Step and throw.
It was nuts. I mean, it was classic.
It was
pitcher to first baseman, terrible throw. But
one other quick one is something that was said recently. I picked it up somewhere where somebody was talking about the defenses. Oh, the defenses are so much better this year. Well, the defenses are so much better because one, there's a pitch count or a timer on your pitches.
Yeah.
So I mean, one of the problems is most of these major league pitchers will not challenge hitters.
Yeah.
They won't challenge them. They're go for a corner, go for a corner.
I don't think they have time to challenge them.
Well, yeah, but all you got to do is throw the ball. Sometimes you got to go at a hitter.
Yeah.
And I mean, these guys are throwing 98, 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, and they're afraid to challenge a hitter. Yeah. I mean, if you're challenging hitters, your defense is going to be good because you're throwing strikes. You're making them put the ball in play.
Do you think defenses could also be better though, too, just in the fact of, hey, they did away with the shift? Now we're playing back to basic baseball. I mean, I know a lot of people say it helps the hitters, but
if anything, I was going to say that helps the defenses because now they're just
playing baseball. You don't have to constantly. It's that whole less thinking.
I
just
feel
play
like the
baseball.
shift would help defenses. Is what I mean.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't. I hated the shift. I mean, because if you're a decent hitter, a shift against a Rod Carew back in the day, or these guys that really could hit, like a Tony Gwynn and those kind of guys, they would have destroyed those shifts.
Yeah,
because they were they were professional hitters.
And that's what I was going to piggyback on what you were saying is I know they're gone away with now in terms of the shift, but I could not believe more people didn't bunt then.
Yeah,
you have no one on the left side of the field. You could literally dribble one out there and it would roll into the outfield. Like
whatever. Get it away from the catcher and you're home. You're free.
Exactly. I couldn't comprehend that.
Whatever. Right.
Yep.
Trey, did you hear me?
What'd you say?
That's what she said. Hard, soft, whatever.
Oh, see. Yeah. Now we're definitely explicit.
No, we're talking about bunting. We're talking about bunting.
Yeah.
You guys are sick.
Oh, wow.
Everybody wants to get good wood on the bat or on the ball.
All right. Am I last to bail here? Or Trey, did you bail yet?
I already bailed.
You bailed.
Yeah,
all right, I'm bailing. I'm bailing on the Yankees. I already hated the Yankees as a team just because I hate the Yankees. I grew up hating the Yankees, but I hate them because they have screwed me over so many times in terms of gambling. Not even just for that. Well, actually, no, even for them. There's been times where I'm like, man, I really hate to make this bet because I don't like to cheer for the Yankees. And they lose. Like, they're horrible. And I know they're third right now, I think, in the AL Central. But I'm bailing on the Yankees. I think their offense is struggling without Aaron Judge. They're not the Yankees of old. I mean, I think we talked about the last time they won. I think the last time they won the MLB championship was, what, 2010, didn't we say? It was something like some ungodly number that we're like, whoa. But they're not the Yankees, especially and with Judge hurt. And now Judge coming out, I don't know if you guys saw this, Judge coming out and saying that, oh, hey, I'm not going to be ready, until, could be a couple years until my toe's officially healed.
Yeah.
Making a comment like that kind of tells you, too, hey, I just got a crap load of money. I'm good. So if I'm hurt right now or quote-unquote hurt, with my toe, I don't have to play because I'm making a boatload of money from the Yankees. So I'm bailing on the Yankees. I don't like them, and I also just think that they are struggling. I love to see the Orioles beat them tonight 14-1, which was beautiful. Anybody that's listening Friday, that was Thursday night, they beat the Yankees 14-1. So, all right, let's jump into our last one here. This is backing. What do you support? What is exciting you in baseball at this point in time? If you guys don't mind, I'd like to start this off with a banger.
Yeah, hit it.
The thing that I support and I'm excited about the most is my guy, Alek Manoah from the Toronto Blue Jays, coming back tomorrow to the major leagues against the Tigers. 1-7 record. I got a couple bets against Alek Manoah already. Try to figure out some numbers overnight here in the morning before I put official picks out. But I am backing Alek Manoah coming back. Fade the dude. He's not ready. All right, he's not ready. If anybody saw him, what he did in his little stint down the league underneath, he's not ready. He gave up 11 runs, and they were bringing him back. I was actually surprised to see him come back so quickly. I know he's young, so I think they're trying to not lose him completely. But I'm backing Alek Manoah coming up, and I'm also backing the Rays losing streak.
Wow.
Tampa Bay Rays, man, dude, they are, I believe, 10-13 of their last. No, sorry, I think 10-14 in their last 24 games. Baltimore now is. Baltimore sits at 50. Baltimore sits at 50-35. Tampa Bay sits at 57-32. In terms of overall league standings right now, Atlanta's actually surpassed Tampa Bay because they're not getting it done. I mean, they dropped the last two nights against the Phils. Tonight was actually an extra innings game, which they just could not hang on to. So I'm backing Tampa Bay Rays losing. So that's my other backing. I support that.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead.
This is backing.
What do you support?
Yeah, something you like.
I like the fact that Vegas is getting a baseball team.
Okay.
Officially?
I like that. I mean, I'm a Raider fan. The nights are enjoyable to watch. I think it's cool. I mean, Oakland they've had their heydays with all their teams, and if they're not going to back them, then go somewhere that's going to support them. Go to a city that's going to support them.
Now, my one question though about them going to Vegas, are they going to be playing in that dome eyeball thing with all those LED
That would be
lights?
awesome. the new exosphere.
Dude, it's nuts. If you haven't seen it, check
weird.
the videos out. I mean, it's
that's cool.
supposedly it holds 18,000 people inside. And I heard on McAfee today too that U2 was going to be the first band to actually play in there, which I don't approve of that because they'll also probably put that entire album on everybody's iPhones, but we'll see what happens. But no, it's weird as crap, man. But if let's get a baseball team to play in there.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Make it a little bit bigger.
Are you sure it's not Davis's house?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's the wildest thing. It's actually causing a lot of traffic, and they're saying how many accidents it's going to cause because.
So it's an eyeball thing, huh?
Well, what they can do, it's so many LED lights on this whole thing. 4th of July, they had this whole like flag, like moving stars and stripes. So it's like LED lights, but they can make it look whatever. And they made the other night when it opened, it actually looked like an eyeball that was like blinking. It was really, really weird. But
symbolism.
Probably to keep those aliens away that are showing up in Nevada.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's a different story for a different time. All right, Trey, what are you backing?
So I'm backing two things. The first being the NL East division.
Okay.
I think the top three teams, especially, are playing really well lately. The Braves, Marlins, and the Phillies. And I know we gave them crap, and don't get me wrong, they still are awful. But I think a team that is going to turn it around just because of I don't know how they couldn't is the Mets. Just their payroll, their roster. I mean, they have it doesn't make sense. And
you're in 4th right now.
I understand, but they are on a 4-game win streak. They're 6 games out of 500. We're about to hit the break. Maybe they need the All-Star break, but in all, I'm backing the NL East.
They need Frank the Tank to throw out the first pitch at every game from here on out.
I don't know if they let him. How much he hates on them now. But
yeah, but dude, you heard the guys in the booth and stuff. Hey, show him again. He's entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. But no, that's my first backing. Second backing is the Dodgers.
Okay.
I know we've been up and down on them lately. The beginning of the year, they were kind of disappointing and stuff, but I think they're kind of overlooked in terms of like a World Series threat. I was looking at their odds to bet their future. What's that?
They have enough money to do it, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're kind of flying under the radar almost in a way. Yeah. I think a lot of people are talking about the Rays. I think a lot of people are talking about even the Rangers a lot too. Yeah. But I think the Dodgers are kind of playing consistently well, flying under the radar, and their roster is unbelievable. They got J.D. Martinez, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, Will Smith, young catcher, and then they have a great pitching staff as well. So
they just leave Pete Alonso off that, even though he's like the home run king.
Who?
Pete Alonso. Who? Pete Alonso.
He's a Met. He's a Met.
Who'd you just say? You just said the Mets.
No, I'm talking about the Dodgers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said the Mets. I'm sorry.
No, I said the
How
Dodgers.
Not
Dodgers. You're a half a segment back.
Yeah, get out of here. No, but I just think I was looking at their odds. They're plus 650 to take the World Series, and I did in fact sprinkle a little bit on that.
Sprinkle, huh? All right.
Yep.
Isn't Kershaw in the IR right now?
That I'm not too sure.
He's got arm pain. He has arm pain.
Oh, that's all right.
No, he is, but I don't think it's very severe.
That's right. Give him an extra week off.
Yeah,
A pitcher's arm hurting isn't severe. But,
no, I think it's more of an All-Star break thing.
I think it was more. Yeah, giving him a break.
Yeah, I think it was an All-Star break thing, but
I just hope the Dodgers go nowhere. I think Betts drops off the second half. 23 home runs the first half. I don't think he's going to even match that in the second half.
Can't hate Freddie Freeman though, man. Freddie Freeman's a man.
Well, Freddie Freeman is. Yeah, he is.
I like Mookie Betts too.
There's one other thing. There's one other thing that I'd like to put out that I back and support, and it's John Kruk as an announcer for the Phillies. And I know being, people that, we see all the Phillies games and stuff, but he actually makes the games fun.
Oh, he does.
Even if the Phillies are losing, he's just funny. Like, so if anybody gets a chance to listen to John Kruk announcing the Phillies games, man, he even called one guy out. He's very dry. Like, the other night he cracked me up because he called out one of the ball boys for the Rays. He's like, oh, hey, there's John Kruk Jr. out there. He's, a little bit bigger guy, made a great play, tossed it to the fans. And, yeah, it was very funny because he just went off of his tangent. He's like, yeah, good job, son. Like, it was pretty funny. So John, I back John Kruk, announcer for the Phillies.
I support you on that because he does make it fun.
He was also a heck of a player back in the day. So.
Yeah, he was.
All right, you guys want to knock out this quick home run derby stuff and see where we're at in terms of who's winning what?
All
right. Okay, so what we're looking at here, we're looking at two sides of the bracket. We got a 1 versus an 8.
Yep. That's Roberts versus
Rutschman. So we'll go 1 versus 8 on the one side of the bracket. We'll stay on the same side. We'll go 4 versus 5. Then we'll jump over and go 2 versus 7 and 3 versus 6.
Okay.
So, all right. So our first matchup here. All right, not a lot of thinking. I mean, go with what you guys gut. We got Lewis Robert Jr. is number 1 ranked versus Adley Rutschman for the Orioles. It's a 1 versus an 8. Who you got?
No catcher's ever won it.
So
that's a good little storyline.
And a switch hitter.
So who are you going with?
Yeah. I'll go with Rutschman.
Rutschman?
Yeah.
I'll go Rutschman based on the fact that I'm covering Trent, and I know Trent's pulling Rutschman through this entire thing.
Wow, geez, spoiler alert.
Sorry. My buddy's, he's not here to represent. I'm here to represent.
I know.
I didn't say I was. I'm saying Trent is.
All right, so we're all on Rutschman. I'm on Rutschman as well.
Okay, cool.
I'll get Trent's official picks in too. So.
All right. So you don't believe me, but that's okay.
No, I do. Trent did text me, so I did know that, but I didn't want to put out the spoiler yet. Next, we got Garcia from the Rangers and Rosarina here from the Rays.
Glad you said it. I can't say it.
I got.
I'm gonna go Adolis Garcia.
Garcia.
Yeah, I'll go Garcia too. He's swinging one of the hotter bats right now. 21 homers the first half.
All right, and
Rosarina only has 16.
I'm gonna go a Rosarina.
Wow.
I just kind of like to say his name, but that's just me.
Didn't he perform well or no? That was the playoffs one year. He had like 13 home runs or something crazy.
Yeah. All right.
You might say Rosarina blossomed about that time.
Yeah. All right. So we got next round. This is on the other side of the bracket. We got Pete Alonso, the defending champion, obviously from 3 years now. Dude's a beast. Against Julio Rodriguez.
He got beat the other year. He got beat in the final.
Not last year. Against Julio. I remember watching it. Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners.
I know who I'm taking.
Go ahead.
I'm taking Alonso.
Okay.
I don't think the Mariners got it in him.
I second that. I'm also taking Alonso.
Now keep in mind it is in Seattle.
Yep.
Okay. I'm also taking Alonso. Just had to throw it out
Way
there.
to try to divert us. There you go.
All right, and then last one here, we got Mookie Betts and Vlad Guerrero. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll take Betts.
Okay. Trey?
I'm taking Vlad Guerrero.
Oh no, yeah. I excuse me. I'm sorry. I do want Vlad Guerrero.
All right.
What? I can't believe I just said that.
I'm also.
It's only because I said it.
No, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh because as we progress through this thing, you will laugh. You'll be like, "Are you serious right now?"
I think we all might be pretty close here, guys, and you guys are making me sound a little nervous here. All right, so listen, next round. All right, Trey, you have Rutschman versus Garcia, and you have Alonso versus Guerrero. So who's winning, Rutschman versus Garcia?
I'm going Garcia.
Dad, who you going? You have Rutschman
Me
also
personally,
versus Garcia.
me personally, I'm going Garcia.
Okay.
Trent would be going Rutschman.
All right. I am going to go Rutschman.
Okay.
All right, and then next round, we all have Alonso versus Guerrero. So, Dad, let's start with you.
I'll go Guerrero.
Trey?
I'm also going Guerrero.
Okay. And I am
Is
also...
that because I went Guerrero?
No.
I'm also going Guerrero.
Oh,
right.
I think we all did it.
So, finals. We got... You guys are both Garcia Guerrero. I'm Rutschman Guerrero. Who are you on?
Go on, ready? Let's all say it at once.
1,
Guerrero.
2, 3. Guerrero.
Yeah.
All right.
Shoot. What are the chances of
Trent's
that?
the only one different. Trent's going Rutschman.
I know.
All right.
Cool.
Dang, that stinks.
Sorry, guys. That's why when I said Betts, I was like, "What the heck did I just say?"
No, that's pretty interesting because Guerrero's 6.
Yeah, he's a 60.
60.
Yeah,
And he only has
So-
13 home runs in the season.
So here's my thing.
I can't
though,
help but
is-
think
is-
that it's like part of his thing. You know what I mean? Like he's got to win it.
Well, not only that,
Yeah.
but here's my thought behind it is you're getting soft toss pitches like meatballs.
Yeah.
So like the how you do during the season only matters like so much. I would
How
say.
you
You know what I
doing?
mean?
You're getting
I agree.
meatball pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I think you need just people that can hit homers with ease. Don't have to use much of their body.
Yeah.
And I think bigger people like Vlad and Pete Alonso, I think they're kind of built for derbies, and
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
that's why I'm gonna take both of them to win it, Pete Alonso and Vlad Guerrero.
It's not bad.
One because they're on the same side of the bracket, so you have a better
Smart.
chance of getting them into the final.
Yeah.
But also because I just think that they're gonna have the stamina. Really.
Yeah.
That's and same with Garcia, the Rangers guy. He's a bigger dude that can handle that too. So
Roberts is big too.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Hey,
It'll be fun.
Just a little shout out about Nelson Cruz being designated for assignment. So probably ends his career.
Wow.
Talking about home run hitters
Yeah.
or San Diego. And the thing that San Diego doesn't realize, they stock their payroll and everything like that, and they have all these players in there, and what they fail to realize is Nelson Cruz's influence in the dugout.
Yeah.
He's like having a coach. He's like having a coach player, and I mean he's not having a bad season.
No.
It's just they designated him for assignment, and I think it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Just another mistake that San Diego made.
I also think, man, where's Ohtani go, man? Him and Trout they have to leave.
He'll be a Yankee.
They have
No.
He'll
He's
go big market. He'll
Where do
be
you think he's
going
going,
big
Trey?
market, guys.
Oh well, it's quite obvious where he's going.
Where, Trey?
Where do you think?
It's the Boston Red
Oh,
Sox.
is it? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Going up to Boston. He's going up to Boston.
I'm telling you.
No, I don't know. I mean,
laugh.
No,
You laugh.
he'll be a Dodger or he'll be a freaking thing or a Yankee.
I do think
They have all the money, or maybe maybe he's a Met now. Maybe he'll be a Met. The Mets have the most money.
Dude, I'll say this.
They have too much tied up.
I will say this, though, and I think I mentioned this last week, too, that Ohtani is going to be one of the greatest baseball players ever to play the game.
Oh, yeah, easily.
I
don't agree with that.
Dad, in terms of what he's doing compared to, say, somebody like a Babe Ruth,
what do you mean compared to? You can't compare Ohtani and Babe Ruth.
We'll see.
Oh, Dad, that's who he's ultimate.
I
understand that because they both pitch and they both hit home runs. Okay, Babe Ruth had more home runs in one season. Mm-hmm. Babe Ruth had more home runs than the rest of the players in the entire league combined.
Hey,
okay,
Ohtani's like second right now in home runs, and he's also second or first in strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. I'm not saying the guy's not a great baseball player, but
Dad, Dad, how many? Okay, was Babe Ruth hitting homers off of what? 65-mile-an-hour meatballs?
No,
here we go.
Stop.
Here we
go.
Here we go.
No.
Pitch by the milkman.
And what was the ball made of? Sock stuff with straw. I mean,
yeah, with a 200-foot fence too. Probably.
It wasn't juiced. It wasn't juiced scientifically.
Yeah, well, listen. We could go about this all day. And if I could have been one of the. I could have been a Hall of Famer back when Babe Ruth played.
You think so?
No, I was kidding. But no, Dad. Before we do finish up, and we can make this quick, but last week Tyler was talking about a player that he really likes right now, and he pronounced it Yastrzemski.
Oh yeah, gotta love it.
Yeah. So that kind of we were talking about how you would have known right away who he was talking about and giving him crap for it, but. Then we talked about how you
bring up one mistake of name that I say, and all the damn names that you say terribly.
No. I'm just. It was kind of leading into why I'm.
Tyler, as an English teacher, couldn't you have thought a better adjective than ridiculous. Names?
So we discussed how good you are at just baseball trivia in general, and how that's probably your sport. So I have a couple pretty tough. MLB trivia questions here. I'd like to see if you can get.
All right.
And the first one. This one's might. Yeah. Stump. What is it?
Stump the Big John.
We gotta start with something, or we'll come up with a name for it.
Stump the Papa.
Yeah. That's weird. All right. So, all right. Here's. We'll start out with a semi-easy one, I guess.
Okay.
But name the Hall of Famer who's the oldest pitcher to throw a no-hitter.
Oldest pitcher to throw a no-hitter.
Hall of Famer.
I don't know if Warren Spahn ever threw a no-hitter.
You better not be Googling.
No, I'm not Googling. Look, here's my hand.
All right.
That's me.
Okay.
Huh?
Nope.
Wasn't Sal? Wasn't Warren?
I'll give you three guesses.
Okay, hold on.
Remember, I said this is kind of an easier one.
All right, who's the guy that just died in a plane crash for the Phillies? Threw the perfect game.
Nope.
Roy Halladay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wasn't him.
Louis Tiant.
Nope.
Gaylord Perry.
Nope.
No. Wow, I'm surprised you haven't gotten
Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
All right, it had to be Nolan.
How old,
Ryan.
Trey?
Nolan Ryan threw like 7 of them.
Trey, how
he threw
old?
about 43?
I think it was 41.
44.
41.
Wow, 44.
Okay, yeah.
Wow. All right, another pitching one. Okay. Who is the pitcher who holds the record for striking out 10 consecutive batters in a game?
It was a girl softball player.
No, it's
Jenny Finch. I'm just 10 straight players in a game. Wood. Kerry Wood.
That's a good guess, though.
Oh, that is a good guess. I forgot. Do you remember him, man? His downfall.
Yeah, well, he had like 20 strikeout game or something.
Yeah, he did. That's why I guessed that.
Was that the Cubs?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. 10 consecutive strikeouts. You gonna go Nolan Ryan on me again?
Nope, it's not Nolan Ryan.
Don Drysdale.
Nope.
Oral Hershiser.
Nope.
Throwing out the classics there.
2 more guesses, and then I'll tell you.
All right, hold on. Strikeout pitcher. Maybe Clemens.
Nope.
Okay. Randy Johnson.
Nope. All right, it is Tom Seaver.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tom terrific.
All right. Okay. Maybe this.
What number? He wore number 41.
I didn't know that.
Sadly, I know that. Pitched for the Reds and the Mets.
Okay, so retired numbers.
Okay.
Who was the first ever player? Wait, whose number was the first ever retired by an MLB team?
You got to guess Babe Ruth.
Nope, it's same team.
Oh.
Yankees.
DiMaggio, number 5.
Nope.
Yogi Berra.
No.
Think.
I'll give you a hint. Can I give you a hint?
Is he a manager?
Nope. He considers himself a lucky man.
Oh, Lou Gehrig, number 4.
Yep.
Wow. There you go.
Yogi Berra was a good. That was a good guess because Yogi Berra, doesn't he have the most MLB championships in
championships? Yeah.
Like 10 or something.
Yeah, he's one of the finest guys in the game.
Last one here. All right.
These are some tough ones. These are good.
I know. These are tough. But how many intentional walks did Roger Maris get in his 61 home run season?
Ooh. I would say 0.
Correct. Because
he was
hitting.
Who was hitting behind him?
Exactly. It says hint. He was usually hitting in front of Mickey Mantle.
Yeah. He was.
Trey, what'd you say? What was it? Consecutive strikeouts or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, what was the hint?
No. I'm just saying, like, can we just talk about how Lance Lynn from the White Sox now pitched a 1-hit today, 1-hit 11K, and he also threw another 4-hit 16K a couple games ago and lost both games. He didn't lose, but they did the win.
Yeah.
Like,
that's sort of what Nolan Ryan used to go through.
But like
he used to throw no hitters. When he pitched for the Angels,
like,
they were terrible.
The dude can strike out anybody, and his team, and they're supposed to be such good hitters, man. It's just frustrating. Sorry, that's a very big side note. But when you said about 10 straight Ks, I'm like, I know Lance Lynn had 16 the other night.
Yeah.
So
that is crazy. What a great stats, but a disappointing team and pitcher, right?
Wow.
Is he though? Like, I don't know. It's weird. I can't figure him out. That's why I've stayed away. Remember, the White Sox used to be my team to cap.
Yeah.
I am way off that bandwagon. But hey, you know what to look forward to tomorrow. Alek Manoah coming back.
There you go, Alek Manoah.
All right, well, hey, let's round this out. Appreciate you guys. Trey, Big John.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
That was a lot of fun tonight.
Absolutely. And we will be back next week. Hey, keep an eye out. I know what we're going to be putting together here. I'm going to talk to Trey about this too. We are looking at possibly putting together a top NFL players going into 2023. I'm thinking top 25. Maybe we do 5 a week in the first 5 weeks leading up to the NFL. So we'll put that on the radar. We'll still,
for consecutive shows, why don't you do running backs 1 week, wide receivers another, quarterbacks another?
Good. I kind of want to do an ESPN top 100 kind of thing.
And then sum it out with that. And then combine the list.
Okay.
We'll see. We're still working out the kinks, but we'll discuss
we'll tinker with it.
Yeah. So that's coming up.
Gotta love brainstorming.
Yeah, take a look at that. Other than that, appreciate everybody listening. www.beardedbakerbrothers.com. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Spread the word. Let everybody know. Let your friends know. Have a great night. Have a great day.
Yeah, a lot of fun. See you later, guys.
See you guys.
All right. Good night.
See you.